This is a tough one, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. I'm Asif Badi. After coming off a really tough loss against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, ending our season from hell, more tragic news as Jason Kelce announced to his teammates that this was indeed his final game as a Philadelphia Eagle and as an NFL player. And I feel bad for Jason Kelce, one for the way this season ended up turning out. We get to the Super Bowl last year, we lose it in crushing fashion, and then he was subjected to this nonsense that was happening this year with this football team. And he's one of the few bright spots that this team has seen all year and tried everything he could to keep it together for not only his teammates in the locker room, but with the coaching staff and just the reputation of this team. And he certainly has done a good job of that, and he did a great job at that. And he's calling it quits. He's hanging them up. Whatever cliche you want to use, Jason Kelce is going to retire from football. And what a run it has been. What a career it has been for one of the greatest centers the NFL has ever seen, arguably the greatest center of all time. The man is a 6-time first-team All-Pro, a 7-time Pro Bowler. He's a Super Bowl champion, was a 6th-round draft pick, Iron Man to the nth degree. I believe he started 156 straight games to end his career, which is the most in franchise history, I believe, for an offensive lineman. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's right. And before he gets into the Hall of Fame, he'll be eligible for that, I believe, in 2029, most likely going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And he also will most likely be part of the NFL All-Decade team for the 2020s. Once that decade comes to its conclusion. So he's going to have a star-studded resume, and he's going to have so many accolades that it'll justify him being in Canton. Whether it's first ballot or not, he's certainly going to be in Canton, Ohio. And we thank you, Jason Kelce, for not only a tremendous career, a tremendous memories, offering the greatest speech after a Super Bowl victory we've seen, yes, in Philadelphia, but completely revolutionizing what it means to be a center in the National Football League. A unique player, a unique individual. The ability, the athleticism, the technique, all the football mumbo-jumbo stuff that a lot of fans don't really love about the game, but true football fans, like really hardcore, like, oh, I play like Pop Warner football type of guys. All those guys who have played football all their life can appreciate everything Jason Kelce brought to the table. The athleticism for an undersized center, the ability to have understanding of what defenses are going to do based on the front that's in front of him. He's diagnosing defenses based on what the defensive linemen are doing in front of him. Truly, truly remarkable. He was the most athletic center I've ever seen in my life. The ability to not only snap the ball, but be a pulling blocker in the run game completely changed the scope of this offense throughout his whole career. There's not many guys in the NFL that have the ability to do that. And now NFL teams are looking for centers to be able to have some semblance of that ability. And that's because of a guy and a player like Jason Kelce. He's also a guy who made one of the plays that has worked all year for Philadelphia and was a staple to us last year in the brotherly shove. He was the anchor. He was the head of that spear that made that play so automatic. And his gameplay, what he meant to the city of Philadelphia, what he meant to this locker room, cannot be stated. It can't be, overstated. It can't be under, whatever the saying is. It can't be measured. And simply as an Eagles fan and as a player, players in the locker room I know are going to thank him to death. They love the man. And as an Eagles fan, as a football fan, just as a guy in general who loves sports, you have to do nothing but appreciate what Jason Kelce has done for the sport, for the team, and for the city. And so for that, Jason Kelce, as an Eagles fan, you're probably not going to see this. I know I'm not that big of an Eagles channel just yet. But as a true Eagles fan, and I think most Eagle fans can agree, we want to personally thank you for the 13, 14 years that you've played at an extremely, extremely high level. The Super Bowl championship you brought to us as one of the leaders of that football team, and completely changing the sport of football and the way not only fans but executives view offensive linemen. Thank you so much for your contributions to the game. And now we look forward to seeing what you are going to do outside of the football field. We know you got the New Heights podcast, which is a tremendous watch, and we hope to see even greater things from you for years to come down the road. So thank you, Jason Kelce, for all the years that you gave to Philadelphia as a 6th-round pick, as a guy who was going to be ousted in Philadelphia but turned it around and became arguably the greatest center of all time. Shoot this video a thumbs up if you support Jason Kelce, and please support the channel. Subscribe to us. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it, we're there. Also, check out the Instagram page at the Riding the Bench Podcast with a K instead of C in the word podcast. And now that Jason Kelce is moving on, we unfortunately, as an Eagles organization, have to move forward and move on as well. So now we slide Cam Jurgens into the center spot, and we have to look forward and look at what we can do in the offseason going forward to fix what's going on with this football team. That will be broken down in a few more episodes later down the road during the offseason as we enter a new era of Philadelphia Eagles football. Truly, truly a tremendous career. Thank you, Jason Kelce, once again. And on that note, everybody, please take care of yourselves. We'll see you back here next time for the next episode of the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast.